Hello everyone, welcome to a match between... Help here?
Oh, man, already forgotten. What a solid start.
Yes. Group Therapy and Redacted.
Good start. Good start.
Excellent.
I see you guys knew the teams here too.
Oh, you're just testing us.
Yeah.
Good.
So coming out, it looks like we got Double Bubble from Group Therapy and Double Shield from Redacted.
Ryan Sigma.
An interesting choice, considering Sigma Nurse.
Yeah.
Did not expect anyone would want to play that character anymore.
I don't know, I feel like he's not as bad as Orisa right now. Orisa got dumpstered.
Orisa got
That is
dumpstered,
true.
and it's a short week. You're playing a relegation match. You probably just got to ignore the patch and play what you know. Not enough time
That
to
is
relearn
true.
a full comp in the week to go, so... Just gotta do what you gotta do.
Unfortunate timing with the patch.
First bubble off on Winston. Ooh, Steve getting a nice
with an
pick on the
early
Pharah.
pick.
Nice hack onto Ryan.
Ryan is slept and hacked. He's just not having a great time right now. Forced off the point.
Looks like
Spike
Group
getting a pick.
Oh, and they're cleaning it up.
Group Therapy going up early and cleaning up the fight. They'll take the point as Spooky Apple tries to get out with his life and won't.
There's some nice point control there with an early by Group Therapy with a nice early pick off by Steve.
Yeah, that opening pick onto Ana really really helped them out and set the stage of that fight. It's hard to come back from losing your main heals.
Yeah, and I wonder if Redacted is going to have a hard time even approaching the point. I don't exactly love going up main with the Ryan. It's such an easy way to get pelted, but he's not really being aggressive.
Rizzy gets absolutely deleted and lost a nano, but 2 picks followed up with Group Therapy kind of even out this fight and put them up, and Ryan gets hacked too. He's in a lot of trouble. Steve's doing a good job off-angling, keeping this Sigma shield and Sigma distracted so he can't help his Ryan push up either.
Caster's Curse though as Steve gets taken out.
Yeah, but Group Therapy, I was about to say, still has this fight, and then there's the Caster's Curse for real.
Good.
Interesting grab by this fight. Maybe
Kinda
it's
huge
enough.
though.
Winston's back in.
Kinda and huge, but kinda not. But now it's just stalling the point.
Unfortunate timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I trade grab for 5%, but you know, 70%. They're getting close to 1-fight territory, so maybe it was worth it.
Oh, and Girthquake getting, I don't know, 1%.
Just a little
2%?
more still.
Yeah, you know, you're getting close to 1-fight territory. Anytime you have the point, you might as well just, and you're there.
They have EMP Barrage, big ult out from Group Therapy, but Nanoblade is up for Redacted with close on Shatter.
Yeah, and they don't have their grab anymore, Group Therapy, to stop it, so this could be pretty big for Redacted.
Yeah, I think the key here will be can Redacted save those ults, use them to win the fight. Oh!
Big EMP.
Big EMP.
Big EMP. Doesn't really get much though, and Resno comes in on the Steve. Huge Shatter gets 3. There's going to be a lot of follow-up there, and yeah, I was kind of thinking it before the fight, but I didn't want to curse it. And it was, if you know you have Nano going into Nanoblade, it's often better to just die to Nanoblade. They had so much time, they could have given, you know, lost the fight, get some ult percentage, or give up some time and then go in without going into Nanoblade.
Definitely. And the EMP was
They
used
put a lot of
really
ult
early.
into it.
Yeah.
Both sides really did. There's still the Flux on Redacted side, but Double
And
Bubble
Rowdy.
isn't a great team to Flux. There's not really many fluxible targets.
I'd like to see this Flux the Winston here. He's nanoed, he's a threat.
Yeah, I agree.
As
Winston
the
is
master
in.
of solo grabs,
Yeah, he
solo
was
ulti is
in
my style.
real deep.
He's in real deep in purple. He was in a rough spot. Grab comes out, and Sig just gets deleted. Bob though to help and even the fight, and it looks like Bob is gonna turn the tide and start doing the work that Bob needs to do, getting Claw real low and almost dying, and Genji will take him out. Now it's just the desperation stall for group therapy is Redacted. I almost said hangs on to win, and I think that was kind of the momentum looked early in group therapy's favor. So finally, the Flux comes out and gets the stall.
Yeah, and it's just cleaning it up, and Redacted gets first map of the first map.
Yeah, it looked like once group therapy lost the point, they had a real hard time taking back, especially since they squandered all their ults in the fight that they needed to win.
Yeah, double bubble is tough like that. You gotta be really careful about using your ults in a good staggered way.
This is interesting. We're seeing the Orisa. I mean, we denounced it a little earlier. We'll see how it holds up. And Frizzy goes over to the Rhine, which
I heard Redacted was pretty committed to the double shield for this, regardless of the patch. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of a Orisa from them.
Yeah, they're running with the Orisa Rhine, which I think is kind of the optimal way to play him here, with the Orisa shield kind of acting as like somewhat better bubble than Spike.
Both teams with a sim teleport, and there's just a frantic fight going on as both teams were kind of getting there at the same time, but Frizzy inadvertently charges in, gets slept, and dies. And now it's just a sim beam brawl on the point.
Yeah, it's a nice shield there by Master Yanu to create some space there, though. Sengoku falls, and group therapy takes first cap. But yeah, it's just a cleanup with the Moira ult.
Yep, Moira does what Moira does, gets ult stupidly fast and able to swing those close fights when everyone's resources are low.
Yeah. I definitely like the Mei pick on this point. This is definitely one of the maps known for Mei here, and that I think Redacted did a good job bringing her here. Got Grav coming up online for group therapy, and Cole.
Oh, an unfortunate early pick there. Unfortunate for group therapy, that is. They're still going to go in, it looks like, and maybe they're just going to hang out on top. They know that there's not really going to be much push. Redacted is just going to want to hold on to that point and not really give them much trouble up top, so they're just going to wait for their Lucio to get back, and now they'll engage.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Trying to figure out where they want to go. They're dropping in. There's a huge
massive wall there by... I don't know how to say that.
Hyper Knight. Crisscrossing walls, lots of ults. I think it was Hyper Knight's wall that really turned that fight, though. Respite got a pretty solid grab, but the wall really effectively cut group therapy off.
And before that, the Mei wall from SQR really did a good job walling off group therapy.
Oh, is that the name you were trying to figure out?
Yeah.
Squirtle Surgeon.
Yeah, I was gonna
say. Okay, you guys clearly are higher IQ than I am. Squirtle Surgeon.
Nah, I'm just an old man who was born with Pokemon. Alright, we're getting into the final fight here. We'll see another big wall from Squirtle Surgeon.
Earthquake picks off. Looks kind of even. He's on the
Frizzy needs a lot of help right here. But Steve quietly doing work in the back, just getting slowly getting picks, and that's gonna turn the tide and flip the point for group therapy.
I really like that off angle there by Steve, just being able to throw in those rockets from the other side. Hyper Nut over to the Ash, away from the Symmetra. Did a fairly decent job warding off Steve's Pharaoh on the last map. We'll see how he does here.
Yeah, I thought Hyper Nut kinda kept Steve reined in after that first point, and now with Steve doing a lot of good work in the back line, let's see, it's going to be a tough job for Hypernut to try and do that again.
Huge anti by
enormous shatter here.
Fatty Shatty.
doesn't really seem
A
to
big wall
matter.
from Squirtle kind of saved a little bit of the follow-up, but Group Therapy still able to get in and clean up the fight after that fat shatter.
And a really nice anti-tube by Flex God. But now Group Therapy is
Steve,
down and
in
Steve
deep.
is... It looks like Steve
Unfortunate.
fell over the roof and that's
Yeah,
just
look-
unlucky.
Looks like he got on the wrong side of that map geometry in unexpected locations. Just bit him the wrong way that time.
Now a brawl on point. Blister Shield dying. Nice block by
block.
Blizzard here. Nice grab, but Blizzard also comes out to punish the grab.
Earthquake going kind of big.
Looks like it's almost even with that res.
They are Steve
Right.
back taking a good
Real,
off angle, gets a pick. Holdo
Yeah.
kinda holding on.
Flex got really nice anti there on both the tanks, and it looks like Group Therapy is going to pull out the win, with Steve coming back and Flex God doing a really nice job.
Hyper
Misses
not
to sleep
looking.
though.
The recontest. Oh, they got it with the Master
Hypernuts
Piano.
looking, trying to get some Bob real quick, it looks like. Oh,
Uh-oh.
I like what Steve was going for there, trying to get Hypern up before Bob. It just didn't work out with that Nano. And then Redacted's gonna flip the point and take map 1.
That was.
Looks like their settings are a
Close,
little
they
bit
could-
off
yeah.
here, as
Oh,
Yeah.
Score.
Or we're on to round 3, it seems. The winner takes something.
Okay. Well, nice plays by Redacted there. Very close, and I'm definitely looking forward to the rest of this match as it appears it's going to be a good one.
Immediately, yeah, that was a great map, and even though it was Redacted took the first 2 maps, I really wish there was a different name for like the sub maps so I can easily say that. But even though they took both of them, it came down to the wire both times. So
Points.
All right, that's fair. But then there were I guess in King of the Hill, it's really only 1 point, so that's fair. Yeah. All right, points. I do like that control of the lobby was immediately given up after we were going for best of 5.
I like to see the Rhine. I think all of us here are a fan of some Rhine 1v1s. Interesting that we're not seeing any hogs. Bit of a different strategy though, with the Redacted relying on the double shield and Group Therapy relying on the Zarya. I think nobody really knows what's good, so it's really a battle here.
Yeah, and I really do think that, especially this early on a patch, no one knows who's good. You're fighting either to stay in D1 or get into D1. You don't want to try anything crazy. You want to play what you know, even if it might not be optimal. You know the other team's in a similar position that they don't really know, and so you're both going to be probably playing suboptimal comps just because you're better on that comp, and oftentimes that's enough to overcome not playing the meta comp.
Definitely agree with you there, Eagles.
Yeah, we would know a thing or two about that, kinda.
Yeah, we would. We are definitely, as Hash said earlier, a Ryan favored team, and we will protest double shield as much as we can.
But we'd much rather see the Rhine here than the Orisa Sig.
Agreed.
Welcome.
So it looks like we're going to Hollywood next. Interesting to see what they'll come up. Looks like Respite's on the Zarya early.
Match.
Group Therapy's on defense here. Oh, they're going to double shield. They're going to the Rhine Sig. Junkrat. Gotta love some rat here. We do have quite the rat lover on our team on the desk.
This is a good rat, Junkrat A. There's a lot of narrow chokes that he can just completely zone off all himself, allowing your tanks to take space more effectively. That they don't have to worry about anything else, and Junkrat kind of acts like a half tank, just controlling an entire lane.
It is unfortunate though we will not be getting any respite from the double shield.
Attackers within 30 seconds.
Gotta rename you from Peter Rabbit to like Punny Rabbit or something.
Seems that double shield has really dipped their claw in deep to group therapy.
That one was a stretch. A little bit of a stretch. Do appreciate though that Respite rocking the Mayhem skin.
3,
Yeah.
Let's go.
1.
And it's
Attackers
unfortunate that
crazy.
group therapy is not showing themselves the flex gods they are and playing a different comp.
Well, we will see that out of Redacted here, running the classic Ryan Zarya with Genji Ash.
Yeah, I think the Zarya and the Genji are kind of interesting. You usually don't see them together. It looks like group therapy gave up space control, and Redacted is able to push into 3 Hyper Nut, snagging a pick on Flex God.
Lazy getting a very early nano is going to allow Apple to just, or excuse me, Ryan. Is that Ryan? Master Ryan O?
Oh, that's
I thought it was Master Yanu, but I think it's Master Ryan 0 is the correct term.
a
Alright,
difficult
Master
one.
Ryan to just run through group therapy. That
lost.
early
Ryan-
nano was crazy.
Yeah, you can see that Flex God here is only at 44. Ryan's almost has Shatter. Oh, he goes down to the rat.
Yep, and especially in a brawly comp like this, there's really only one lane to fight. The only problem that group therapy is going to have is Hyper Nut up there, but Girthquake with a nice dynamite to get him off. I'm surprised Girthquake now isn't taking that high ground so that Hyper Nut doesn't have it to fight them back.
And let's look at Spooky Apple here. The Flank Lucio is alive and well. As Flex God noticed him.
He's gonna take somebody out right here. Or
If anything,
maybe he's just retreating. Never mind. I was ready. Big slam. Ryan gets well.
Oh, Steve going fat with the.
That was
very nice.
Dynamite from Girthquake killing everybody.
It's always a calculated risk to shatter through a window, especially if there's some non-shattered opponents behind it that you have to continue to push through, and that's what Ryan Zero had to learn there.
Yeah, those Drunkard Mines are deadly with 260 damage on a direct, which is nothing to shake your hands at.
They do 140? I thought they did 120. Man,
They do 130. 260
what a-
divided by 2 is 130.
I told you already have a small brain, so I don't feel bad about that.
A nice
Hyper Nut
bob.
again taking that high ground, and he's just gonna rain fire almost uncontested on group therapy. We'll see if
Huge
they
purple coming out.
will take advantage of it, but
I really like Redacted retreating here. Even though they're up, they get some time to get their cooldowns. They go for Nano Blade, nice bubble. Oh, massive sleep. That doesn't look like it's gonna be enough, but really nice sleep there by Flex
with the
God.
fear of the sleep gone, Master Ryan just unleashes the shift key, and he has no fear going in deep. Space was created.
Really nice space creation blade that by Squirtle Surgeon.
The name of the game. Just gotta create the space, even if you die for it. Or get slept for.
Looks like group therapy's gonna try and get one more touch. Unfortunately, they're not gonna do it.
Really nice grab there by Senku.
3 ults coming out across both teams there on a point that was already capped. Be interesting to see how that affects this point C, but there's a lot of time still on the clock, so.
Group therapy though, they have Nano. They're coming up on.
They'll get window
That's
here
big.
real early, as well as Flux.
Hyper Nut on the off angle to the left.
Another enormous shatter, but Frizzy going in with the charge and didn't get shattered, apparently. Everyone else did. It's a classic reader shatter for our team. Ryan calls the block, his entire team down behind him. But it worked out for group therapy. They were able to regain that space, and now they're gonna flux to
Get a solo flux, but they can't capitalize. A nice positioning by Senku here to kind of deny them.
big window, kind of pushed up, but Redacted will just have to zone out of it. And now Bob going in, getting slept.
Portal Surgeon getting really aggressive and just getting bodied by Respite. No Respite from him. A Claw getting really close to the Rhine and pays with his life, but I think Group Therapy is just gonna... They have the numbers, doesn't really matter.
They have the numbers, they have the spawn, they have the damage too. But I think Redacted here, they know their win condition. They're playing for Nanoblade. They also have Grab coming up.
They have
and Bob. Yeah, they're playing. They have enough time in the time bank. They can just play to press Q.
Get the bubble off on him, and Squirtle Surgeon really just slices and dices them as any good surgeon should.
5k,
and still alive.
Nah, Spooky Apple yoinks it. Good 5k though.
I think I thought Bob got a kill in there.
Oh, did he? I only sub.
He might have. No, the dash killed. I don't know. I thought Bob got.
5-10.
I saw a whole lot of Genji,
Switching sides.
so I assumed it was 5.
That's what you like to see if you're committing with Nanoblade.
Yeah, that's the Nanoblade you want to see. You don't really want... We joked about the space creating Nanoblade, but you don't really want to use 2 ults to create space, especially an ult combo as powerful as Nanoblade. Alright, we'll see how Group Therapy answers. A pretty considerable time bank for Redacted, so... We'll see what they are able to do on, it looks like, Double Bubble again, but with a Moira.
I think the Moira is definitely interesting, unconventional though previously Double Bubble was played with Brig before the patch, and now I think people kind of figuring out what do we do now.
I don't think Brig's nerfs though change her role in Double Bubble. They reduced her health and upped her self-healing, so if anything, she...
Yeah, it's almost a buff for that playstyle.
Yeah, it's almost the buff for that kind of backline defender role in what she was in Double Bubble.
Yeah, the extra health might hurt a little bit when getting dove, but her job kind of is to AFK in the backline and save her team.
As our camera person and main support here knows very well.
Oh yeah.
Just all cat emote all the time in the backline. Alright, we'll see what this Double Bubble with Sombra Genji Moira has to say.
I'm curious why Girthquake isn't going into the backline here. Seems kind of odd to...
Girthquake might be looking for a pick on... Well, he immediately teleported out, so I stand corrected.
But, no. Girthquake used the TP to go up on the high ground, so now...
Yep. Flex Guy's getting in the early pick, but with their main tank going down, that's going to be the end of it. For Group Therapy, they're going to need to back out, though. That late pick on Squirtle Surgeon might help them if they can survive and get a fast second fight.
Yeah, I like the idea there from Group Therapy to get on high ground, kind of surround them, but they might have committed a little early. Hard to know.
Yeah, I think they're going to need to dislodge Hypernut up there with the Mercy Pocket to really effectively run this dive. They can get an early hack onto Mercy and then Diver, which I think they're trying to do right now. Yep, there's the hack onto Mercy, but they got out, but they keep the high ground, so that's going to be helpful.
Anna's really low in hack, and it looks like a really nice dive there from Brizzy, and it's just a massacre here.
Coalescence get 3.
Yeah,
did they nano the Coalescence?
No, they nanoed the Winston.
Okay.
And a lot of ults here used for Group Therapy. 3, I guess, not that many.
It's not too bad, especially in a Double Bubble where you can cycle them, like where you want to be cycling them like that. It's not terrible.
And they got grab amp coming up.
They got Nano out and Valk out as well, so you know, 3 ults traded 2, and you took and you capped the point. I'd say that's a great win for Group Therapy.
And Spooky Apple's over to the Lucio here. I think that's kind of odd. The Mercy seems pretty good into the dive, but
Yeah, you're not gonna do much speeding out of this, but then again, the Rhine isn't gonna be the big dive target.
nice amp grab, nice and clean, 2 ults, nothing more.
And that's exactly what you want to see out of Double Bubble. You want to see a quick engage, cycle your ults like that, win the fight early, and now look at all the space they have to just move the card. That was excellent by Group Therapy.
But, they don't push up and finish them off, so they don't get the ult charge. And it looks like Squirtle Surgeon is coming up on Blade here, but no Nano to match it. Really nice dive here, and as Hyper Knight just gets needed.
Comes a nice little combo.
We got the
Gets
Nano
one.
Blade coming out, and it's gonna be close here.
Yeah, it's a 3v3. Steedo falls, unfortunately.
Cart's still going, and there is a little bit of sustain. They're gonna back up. Not quite sure about. I guess they have Redacted has the rest of their team coming back, so good decision to get out.
Yeah, feeding less ult charge. Looks like Hyper Knight gets bubbled, and they use a lot of Group Therapy use all the cooldowns to get up there. But now they're in a prime position. I really like how Frizzy can just drop. Oh, that's unfortunate. As Frizzy gets bubbled, a tad too late.
That was. I don't think it was too late. I think they bubbled. They bubbled because he was slept already, and they were about to just roll over Frizzy, and then the charge came in and the bubble wear off. It was a good play by Redacted.
Frizzy got bashed and then slept, so if he had gotten bubbled, neither of those things would have happened.
Ah, I see what you're saying. Yes. Sorry, I misunderstood what you were saying. A nice blade there from Squirtle Surgeon to clean up that fight.
But they used grab there too on when the other team is down their main tank, but sometimes you just gotta be sure.
Yep. Winning the fight for sure is better than dragging on a fight and maybe losing it.
Claws on the Zen coming up on Trance. With Primal too. Primal can just create so much space. We may joke about space created, but Primal is the space created all. Nice pick by Frizzy here.
Yeah, it was a great Discord there as Frizzy was diving in to get that kill secured, and there's the Primal, like you said, creating lots of space.
With the Primal, got like
Lots
3 or
of
4.
kills. Really nice dive there by Group Therapy, just capitalizing, surrounding them, capitalizing on weakness, and then when Redacted's out of position, just full capitalizing on it. Now they're on third. It's a pretty linear point. We'll see how Group Therapy does.
There's some okay points to stage if you can, you know, if you take up top and then drop down on them. Redacted's going to want to hold early, but Group Therapy is going to want to try and get them to hold out the back by RP.
Oh, really nice Blade. A nice awareness from C there to Blade Ash, who is low. Looks like that's a very clean EMP Blade.
I like the, you know, I forgot the word. Flex God not using Nano was a great call there. Save it for the next fight. You didn't need it. EMP Blade was just enough.
Yeah, I don't push here. Looks like
I'm for Redacted. They're gonna eat. There it is. A couple of them.
But really nice early EMP by Respite, not giving them any chance to rest up. Very deep dive in from Frizzy.
He's just gonna pay for that as the rest of his team was unable to kind of come in and help, and as the Transcendence wears off, Squirtle Surgeon's gonna go in and get some work done with a blade and clean up that fight.
Respite getting out with charge, which is pretty big.
Used by Redacted, but Ash has almost got Bob again, despite using it in that fight.
60 seconds remaining.
I just noticed that the cart point doesn't align with the VIP parking spot at the end, and that's gonna bother me forever now.
Nice early dive by Frizzy, gets bubbled. Oh, that charge.
Frizzy has been punished severely for his dives in so far. Well played by Redacted to kind of isolate him. And
Just to make sure, I mean, if Redacted here can get it to OT, nothing else really matters as they have a can't lose. They recognize this and they get the stagger on Claw. That
don't often see the stagger on the Claw needs to start doing some damage here because
he's staggered himself further with the immortality.
I think at that point his team was close and he was trying to get back to his team.
EMPs here. Ryan taking out Flex God.
He getting very low, still unable to find a target, tries to go for Lazy, gets taken down eventually. Respite though with 2 picks and Earthquake with a follow-up pick. Group Therapy looks like they're going to be able to cap here and play for a draw.
Yeah, I definitely think it's well within their ability. They're looking good on the double bubble here.
They looked really good on A.
Double bubble's a little tougher on defense, so we'll see how they do here. If they can maintain their space and hold that far high ground with Girthquake on the Ash, I think they can easily pull out a draw here.
This
Yeah,
first
I'm
fight,
with you.
first couple fights, or really just the first fight is gonna be pretty big here, because Double Bubble struggles with the ultimates, which is a lot more punishing on defense when you need to not give up a single tick.
Yeah,
Right, and there's enough time here where Redacted can take it a little slow, just play for Nano Blade and get the tick. So Group Therapy will have to be very careful and try and get the Genji down fast so that he has no chance to build
That's
Blade.
a Rhine for defense, which is probably not a bad idea.
and they're off the Sig onto the Zarya. Ryan Zarya here. The Reaper, which is interesting though. He's pretty decent right now. Puts out a lot of damage on him.
Surprising amount of damage, as some of our teammates are. Good to know.
He should be short range, but he kills you when he's all the way over there. It doesn't make sense to me.
I will say I've died to Reapers from across a room at like 50 health, thinking that I'm clearly far enough away that this will be chip damage and then dead. So I somewhat agree.
Yeah.
I like Group Therapy holding up a little further here, trying to keep hold on this corner. They gave it up a little quick last time, and they're making a great push to maintain it now. Looks like Redacted's going to wrap all the way around back, so we'll see how Group Therapy reacts to that.
Yeah, it's a little unexpected. It can throw teams off, but it really doesn't change too much, if we're being honest.
It's just a different corner. It's the same building. The corner's on your left as opposed to your right. Frizzy getting very low, and struggling. Claw getting a very quick window and kills the Genji, or kills the Reinhardt, and without a main tank, that's gonna be a hold for Group Therapy.
And I think the key thing is to look at Squirtle Surgeon right here with 80 to Blade.
Yep.
And Lazy is approaching Nano too. I think the key here is Respite has to save his grab for it and has to hit it. It's kind of they're ace in the hole.
Right, there's enough time in the clock that Redacted will get Nano Blade, so it's Group Therapy needs to be thinking how are they gonna play around that and stop that Nano Blade.
Now the counter window here. Oh, and looks like Frizzy's just might die to it. Oh, and that's all she wrote. Redacted pressing the Qs.
A lot of Q buttons.
It's a lot of Qs, and Group Therapy played that point really well. There's only so much you can do against lots of Q presses.
Q equals W.
Maybe for you, reader.
No, definitely not for me. Ryan Q doesn't do anything.
Rank Q
talking
means you
to
die.
Yeah, that's Ryan Q equals L.
Even getting caught in the grab, Squirtle Surgeon just slices and dices.
Unfortunately, the Grav was on top of the team, so it kind of just had him where he wanted to be.
Respite got shattered.
and kind of into the stairwell there as he was about to get Grav. So I don't think it
Yeah.
was really.
There was not really many other options.
Yeah, he just needed to throw it out because what are you gonna do? Save Grav?
Yeah.
Well, a new feature in Overwatch 2 is actually Grav will persist till next game.
Oh, well, that's a good Zarya buff. I should have read the patch notes closer.
So, Group Therapy's down 0-2, but they put up some really close fights, and I think there's a good chance this is going to go more than 3 rounds, three games.
I agree. They had some great fights there. There were a few times where Redacted just had the press Q to win, and that happens, but that's not gonna carry you through a 3-map sweep. So Group Therapy, they're looking precarious, but I don't think it's as precarious as 0-2 might initially seem.
Uh, I'm curious if we're going to get halftime. Oh, kill cams are on. This is a bit of an NA
Interesting.
host right here.
Very NA multiple hosts here, especially considering that there is an official code to use, so you don't have to think about it. It works for me with my very small brain, so hopefully everyone else should be able to figure it out.
Can't confirm about Eagles' small brain,
It's well known.
but also keep in mind that I am a well-known toxic person. So
Most iconic duo.
yes, more iconic than me and grabbing nothing, and Reader and going into the back line when he's 1 HP and everybody's told him to be careful.
Be careful. I'll just sit on top of this roof. Certainly nothing can get me here. Gets absolutely annihilated by a pocketed Ash.
So it looks like we're going to be going right into map 3 on Havana. What do you guys expect here? I'm really not sure. This is the map of Double Shield, but
It's the map of Double Shield. It's not a great double bubble map. I would think that I would expect Double Shield out of Redacted and probably a Rhine Sig comp out of Group Therapy.
yeah, I definitely see that. They might. Seems that both teams have been trending towards Zarya, kind of the standard Ryan Zarya. I wonder if we'll see any hogs here with his new buffs. He seems to be strong, at least in ladder, but who knows what that means.
Yeah, I'm still not convinced. He's very strong on ladder, and I think the ladder meta will definitely be a hog-based meta. But I'm not convinced for organized play just yet. A hog is so punishable by by several heroes of multiple roles. So I just don't see it. He thrives on doing his own thing and his high pick potential, but in an organized team play, that's very easily punishable. You can rush down a 6v5 or just zone out the hog or focus down the solo hog.
Yes.
Does a lot of damage though.
He
Like
does do a lot of
damage.
damage, and if you do play a organized deathmatch, I guess it could work maybe.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
I hope it doesn't.
As one of the players is going to the bathroom, I think I'm going to take a quick break to go grab a banana.
Okay.
Nice. Classic.
Yeah, I really hope it doesn't. I really like. I feel like that kind of takes away kind of some of the heart of what Overwatch truly is. It takes it less from a very team-focused game and makes it more a loose team game with 6 people just kind of playing. If it is truly a double off tank hog based meta. So
Hog and ball will be the death of Overwatch.
yeah, I agree. It'll help queue times. Or some DPS probably flip over to hog and queue times will go down, so that's a plus, but I'm not sure. I'm not optimistic if that is the case, so I'm hoping that it won't be.
Well, we're a bunch of hog haters. A bunch of hog haters here, so take our opinions with a grain of salt.
True. I have said multiple times that there should be there should be one comp in Overwatch and that's it, and it's Rein Zarya, Lucio, Ana, any combination of McCree, Hanzo, Tracer, and I don't even
If-
really give a shit.
If we're restricting to one comp, let's get rid of Hanzo. Grav Dragon is pretty dumb.
I'm okay with Hanzo. Okay, fine. I'll put in. I was gonna say put in Ash is another one, but I'm okay with Hanzo. Honestly, Grav Dragon is it's dumb, but it's
Well, how do you feel? Do you think there should be a map besides King's Row?
yeah. I like Kings
Hollywood's
Row.
pretty solid.
I like Kings Row, but they're good maps. Yeah, I like Hollywood. I like Eichenwald's a great map. It's one of my favorites personally.
Yeah, that one's good.
That,
One of the very few good added maps.
Are we ready?
Thank- Yeah.
That is until after they changed it. Or after, I should say, that is after they changed it. It was pretty dog shit before they added that like little extra path on A.
Extra path. I don't remember that.
Originally, Eichenwald only had the archway choke to get through, and that was it. Then they added that side path to get through as well. So if you're
Huh.
coming out of attacker A, you know, you
Yeah,
go
I don't
right
remember
and then
it. Had
go
not
left.
been there.
Yeah, it originally was not there. You couldn't go, there was no door to get through the choke that way. And it was a very like Hanamura but worse choke point. It was bad.
Yeah, it's that choke is tough. Although it's not as bad as Hanamura.
Yeah, it's still a very difficult choke point to push through. But without
it's not
that,
as easy to hold as Hanamura's choke is.
yeah.
Attackers incoming.
Man,
in
I did
30
not
seconds.
realize how monstrous this Capitol building is over here on the left side of if you're looking from defense. This thing is enormous.
well, it looks like Group Therapy is going to take an aggressive first fight.
I like it. I like the aggressive hold. It's a cart moves slow enough here, and there's a long enough distance between spawn and point A that
Attackers
you
incoming.
can do it. You get some time. Oh, they're gonna get a good charge in.
Oh, Senku just barely misses the hook as he gets charged.
And this is what I love about it. You know, defense. Defense. You're playing the clock. You're playing the cart. You're playing the clock, and there's an enemy team, you know, in the way of that. And so they're playing the clock right now. They've already taken off 30 seconds, and that's great. I love holding close on Havana.
And Frizzy's
shooting
already
the
45 to all. Ryan goes over to the
Big
huge
bubble.
bubble by
Great
Respite.
bubble. And see, and that's why I'm thinking that Hog isn't gonna work out. He, you know, Hog was doing his Hog thing. He got a hook in ladder. That would have been an instant kill. But you know, you're all in voice. You're all talking, and a good bubble by Respite saves the teammate. And
Huge
Hog
group
gets
though
nothing.
by Flex God to get the kill onto Girthquake.
you hate to see it, but it happens sometimes.
Steve though is popping.
Yeah.
We're almost 70 to Blizzard.
Yeah, that is
Respite
not a
has Grav.
fast building ult, and Steve is just dinking heads with that right click and coming up quick on Blizzard. And the ult economy is not looking good for Redacted.
They get off the
Group
hog.
Therapy continues to hold up here.
Steve unfortunately gets picked. Oh, nice trance by Spooky, saving Senku in the nick of time.
So this is the one thing though. If you are gonna hold up here, okay, it looks like they might be able to get out. No, Frizzy.
No, they are cowards. They are cowards.
Yeah.
I'm definitely with you. They should have hinted and all died or won the fight, but
Right.
he's gonna
the second
stagger
that,
here.
that second that trans came out, and you're already down one, you know you can't win the fight. Their spawns are so. Steve again getting these dinks out here. He is popping on the May. But yeah, if you're holding close, you can't. You just have to throw caution to the wind and int.
I'm glad you
Looks
guys
like,
are.
unlike Pokemon,
coming around to
ice
the way I
is
think.
Squirtle's weakness.
If you're going to the spawn, you die in the spawn.
I think
Get a
unlike
full sender.
Yep, well said, Reader. Go in the spawn, you die in the spawn. I like it.
That's how I
Yes.
play it. Every fight.
And a big
We've
tire
noticed.
coming from straight up top. Group Therapy doesn't seem to know where it is just yet. And it's gonna get 2, and then Nanoblade comes out immediately following.
Not really getting a lot.
Nanoblade not getting a lot.
Not getting a lot, but Flex God thinking he's not gonna be able to get out, just dies, and even still, that's why I love holding spawn on Havana. Even though Group Therapy backed out and got a little bit staggered, they were still able to come back and take a second fight, and they got out Nanoblade as well as tires, so
And Respite's on here, another grab.
yeah, they're sitting great in the ult economy, and this deep inside here is a pretty decent defense point to hold. So we'll see how that extra time they shaved off A is gonna help.
Interesting
Nice.
here that Redacted is choosing to run the Zen here over the Lucio. Plus the Discord, but the minus is you just can't push in. Trade. I expect to
So
see
both
grab here by
the
Respite.
caster curse comes in there. Both supports that gets mentioned taken out. Bubble to save Steve, but unfortunately that means Frizzy is gonna pay.
Yeah, that was a unfortunate fight for Group Therapy, as they looked like with the grab they had the fight unlock, but
There wasn't
now
much follow-up besides Respite there. He was really the only one. And another tire coming out.
just holding. I really like that just holding it, just like creating so much space. Space is truly created, and it takes out Frizzy.
And I don't think Group Therapy is going to be able to touch, especially now. Unfortunately, Group Therapy gets there a moment too late, and now they're going to pay with a decent stagger, Respite able to get Spooky Apple, so that's not going to really hurt Redacted, though, as the spawns are so distant on this C that they'll still get a good amount of cart push. Redacted will, while those respawns are coming in.
Hyping it over to the Widow off the Junkrat here. This spot definitely has a good Widow perch, and without a Sigma to contest it, and right as I say it, he pops.
And Steve gets no one in there. Almost had Master Ryan, but he was able to charge out and save his own life. And in comes another Nanoblade. Beat quickly cut through. His Nanoblade does so much damage. Able to take down Steve.
But Squirtle Surgeon is out.
Claw is in an interesting spot and is just gonna stall cart.
Interesting move. I like the
Space
stall.
created. Maybe. If they win, space created.
You know, I was saying you're playing the clock, but it's not quite what I was going for. And that,
But it gets out Trance and Grav. So we'll call it a space created play by Claw.
you hope so. Claw's looking rough as Hypernote with a great shot on the Stee, and now Claw's in a tough spot and gonna go down. And yeah, you can talk about ult economy right now, but Group Therapy's gonna be in a tough place to even touch the cart, and they're not gonna be able to.
Complete. Score 0.
That was a pretty solid showing from Redacted. They kind of, after that first fight, after the spawn camp, they kind of didn't really lose much of any fights. I just rolled them over.
Yeah, Group Therapy said a pretty early statement with multiple wins on the spawn camp hold, but then Redacted was able to overcome that.
A very solid time at 2 minutes.
Looks like we might be seeing, I wonder if they're going to hold to this. We see the Protect the President or Pirate Ship comp here.
Ready for battle.
Looks
And
like we
we-
might be seeing that.
And Redacted's on the Orisa Hog. Not totally convinced about the Orisa. She seems garbage, to say.
Yeah, and I think Halt Hook got nerfed with Halt being tiny now.
Yeah.
Really is a lot less pick potential.
Yeah,
Hulk went from the size of Rita's brain to the size of Eagles' brain. And that's just not what we want to see.
that is not the change direction you want to go in, and Hog buff doesn't really help Halt Hook. The
Yeah, and also
Halt
the
was Halt was always the catalyst of that. Hook, if you got hooked in Halt Hook, you died. It didn't matter how buffed or nerfed Roadhog was.
Yeah, you
Right.
had
Stop the
and
payload.
And not only is
double
Halt
shield.
smaller, it moves faster too, so that's even harder to coordinate.
Earthquake was crouching there, and there goes the shield of Ryan.
Steve with a nice early pick onto the Hanzo, and Group Therapy is going to push up. They have settled the Bastion onto the cart, and we'll see if Redacted's able to get him off. And a Hog tries, but a nice block from Respite to block the shield with his, or block the hook, excuse me.
Oh, Earthquake getting. I really like the comp here from Group Therapy. The Widow's definitely in the top 2 heroes to play with a Bastion, as Bastion just creates so much space, and then Widow can just pop.
Yeah, allows Widow to do a lot of work. Earthquake getting a lot of support there is interesting. He got hooked, walked away from the immortality after that, and both of his healers doing great job putting in the work to keep him alive during that, and they were able to cap easily with a massive time bank. This point is much better for Junkrat, so we'll see how they're able to play around a tighter space with Junkrat.
Hypernet getting a pick off on C here, but the problem is, like, now Hypernet, he's playing Ashe into a Bastion here. It does look like he gets a pick off, but
He's playing Ashe into a Bastion, you say, as he picks the Bastion.
Caster's Curse works in mysterious ways.
It does.
I think Ashe is pretty solid into Bastion, because she, unlike most snipers, has a means of circumventing the shield. She doesn't have to just shoot straight into it. She can use the dynamite over it and get damage in that way.
Very
And then
true. One
also
thing-
Bob is just having more numbers is always good. So Bob's
Very
a pretty
true.
solid ult.
Interesting. Steve popping the ult early. I was thinking he was just doing that because he was gonna swap, but staying on it. So not sure what that was. But we see Claw going over to the Mercy, maybe for that res, so they can keep Bastion in the fight. Looks like they're gonna try and sneak around back, but I think they got found out.
Yeah. Senku going for a flank, but missing the hook.
Several ults coming out from both sides here as fight kind of devolves into disarray, but it looks like Redacted's gonna take the fight with they used Window.
Claw
Bob.
seems to really like that card. With,
Yeah, Claw's just kind of quietly pushing the cart, and Master Ryan's there, but not really noticing. It finally notices, and
not sure about that play from Claw, but
I like it. You know, let's have some fun, try and push the cart. Get a
I
little
didn't
bit
know
extra
fun was
space.
something that was allowed in Overwatch.
That is true.
And pushing cart was the fun part of Overwatch. Most
Gotta
players
play a
would
lot.
disagree with you.
That is true. I climbed the ranks playing Zen, so that's where I got my fun. And a tire coming around only gets
Huge
immortality
immort.
fill. Yeah, great
But-
immort. But unfortunately, lots of follow-up from Redacted is gonna clean that fight up for him.
And we're kind of seeing the weakness that Ryan has right now, is, especially on a map like this, is he just has such a hard time even getting to them. And they can just like slowly back up until Ryan just is out of resources, and GG's.
Yep.
Steve
fight,
switching
yeah.
over to the Junkrat. That's what I was expecting last time, where he did it this time. He tricked me the first time, I guess. He popped his sights and then immediately swapped to Junkrat. And I like the pick in here for him. This is a tough spot to get value in as Widow. And Junkrat is going to get a lot more value, I think, especially if your Ryan is brawling.
Earthquake goes down. Hypernut's really doing a really good job here.
Hypernut has been very uncontested on the high ground, and having that Mercy pocket where Girthquake doesn't puts Girthquake at a pretty big disadvantage in that Ashe duel, and it's going to be really hard for him to take that high ground. Flex God going to need to watch out from Senku, who misses the hook, so Flex God's safe for now.
both Bobs coming out. Hypernuts immediately picks Claw.
But he
And-
gets slept, but he's now gonna wake up in the back line. And
Yeah, that
Now-
Ana nerf on Sleep was a great buff for Ash because now, before Sleep took Bob out for a majority of his time out there, now it's only half his time, and teams tend to sleep on that sleeping Bob, and he'll wake up and wreak some havoc, especially if it's well placed.
very nice job from Redacted, keeping control of the high ground, just kind of poking them from multiple angles and just making it a really hard life for group therapy, especially Frizzy.
Senku coming around behind, doing hog things. He's gonna look to get a pick. See if he can get a pick on anybody, but he's gonna get slept immediately. Both tires coming out. Girthquake picking Squirtle Surgeon's tire. Steve's tire looking half health, looking for somebody. Gets Hypernut. That's gonna be really helpful for group therapy as Hypernut was really holding them down, but the res comes out, so we'll see how they use this those early picks. They're still up one. I believe. No, that yeah, as Senku's coming back still.
But but even up one. Oh, they take off Ryan. They get a huge grab. Immortality Field goes down. D with the
D
big
with a
pick off and grab.
Bomb.
Not sure about that shatter. We'll call that one a reader shatter. Oh,
Yeah, we'll-
Hold on.
And Senku gets slept, Respite, trying to do his best hash impression and immediately wake up the sleeping Hog, but it doesn't work. He misses.
That's more
So-
like it.
Hog is gonna get antied and just donate a lot of ult charge. Very generous of him.
it might have stalled the point long enough, though. I think Frizzy's just gonna swing through them.
Yeah. Nano, Bob comes out just a little bit too late and isn't gonna be any kind of stall and just gonna get burned out really while the door was opening. Didn't even stall after the door was opening, so not a great Bob there. Not a fan.
Unfortunate.
Just
A
unfortunate.
little bit late.
Yep.
This is really crunch time here for group therapy. They gotta get.
And they've been
60 seconds remaining.
they gotta win this fight pretty quickly, or else they're gonna be an OT. I guess OT doesn't matter on payload.
Payload, yeah, OT does not matter on payload, and Redacted going over to double sniper and immediately sees dividends as Hypernut gets 2 picks in that fight to kind of clear it out as not much else was happening on the ground, and Senku does get a pick on the Claw, and Master Ryan holding very aggressively. They're going to back off though.
30 seconds remaining.
And this will be final fight, last chance for group therapy here, as if they drop, they will go down to D2, and Redacted will go up to D1. See how this goes.
SC having a good battle with Hypernut. Hypernut takes him out though.
And already most of group therapy is half health, and Claw was going to pay with a Sonic Arrow. And
Huge
big
shatter though.
Shatter.
Frizzy coming clutch.
And
D get a nice pick on Spooky. Really nice play by Frizzy there. Kept them in the game. D
D
popping.
after Steve gets bodied by Hypernut, but is not afraid and stands tall to get the kill. And group therapy pushing for overtime here, and Redacted's gonna have one final
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah, they're
Hey, no ults. They say no ults. They have Cole only. Grab comes in. Frizzy needs to watch out as that Cole's gonna be raining down along with the Hog, and he's gonna barely get out with his life, and that's gonna be it. They back up a little bit too much, and Redacted takes the relegation match and goes up to D1.
Play of the game.
See this nice play of the game by Hypernut.
The caster's curse play.
Yes. Very nice.
That was a great play. You have the high ground, you have the mercy pocket. Ash is in a great spot right
getting
now
started.
and had a lot of time to kind of stay uncontested.
Who are we gonna award the golden hammer to from Redacted?
Ooh.
I honestly want to say Hypernut. Hypernut did such a great job controlling high ground and getting picks for
Yeah, I mean,
Redacted. I'm gonna give, if we can give out multiple, like each of us give out one, I'm giving mine to Hypernut.
I think Hypernut definitely deserve it. I mean, there's only 2 players eligible for the Golden Hammer. Both are DPS players, as everyone knows.
Ah,
DPS are the true carries.
I think if we're talking first half, I would give it to Squirtle, but second half, Hypernut kind of. But that's kind of how it goes. Genji was better on the first 2 maps, and then Ash. For the
very
next,
nicely played.
the blades were big. Even when he got slapped, he created some crazy space.
very true. Yeah, so dual golden hammers given out to the DPS duo, the only carries, as our tank says.
It's true. It's very true.
All right, well, that is the end of the relegation match. Redacted promoted to D1, and group therapy will fall to D2. Thanks everybody for sitting around with majority of the O5 heads for us to just talk. It's a good
And
match tonight.
Redacted, we'll see you.
It's
Oh, yeah.
true. We'll see you now that you're